on number 2 together. And so taking your paper, read along with me. It says, Mr. Thomas owns a 3-acre lot. His garden covers 2/10 of the lot. What part of the lot is covered by the garden? All right, so let me read that one more time, and this time I'm going to take my pencil and circle things that I think are important. So it says Mr. Thomas owns a 3-acre lot. So I'm going to circle 3 acres. His garden covers 2/10 of the lot. 2/10 of the lot. What part of the lot is covered by the garden? So we're wanting to know what part is covered by the garden. So when I think about part of the lot, because that's important for me to key into, I think about part of the whole lot, or today's action, which is part of a whole or part of a whole set, which means multiply. So I'm going to go back to my story, and I'm going to identify the pieces that we're talking about. We're talking about a 3-acre lot. So when I think about the words 3-acre lot, I'm going to identify that as the whole amount that we're talking about. We want 2/10 of the lot, 2/10 of each lot. So this is going to be part of the whole. So right now, what I'm going to do is look at my picture model, and I'm going to think about my whole amount. So my whole amount is going to be 3 whole acres. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to lightly shade in the whole amount that we're talking about. So we have 3 acres of or 1 whole acre. We have another whole acre, and it's important that you use light shading to represent the whole amount that we're talking about. So there's 2 acres, and this would be the 3rd acre. So again, lightly shading with my pencil. And we want 2/10 of each one. So now I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to cross shade 2/10 of each one. So there's 1/10 of each acre, and here's 2/10 of each acre. Okay, so again, we have part of a whole set. And that's important because when we identify that action, we know that the action is going to be multiplication. The action is multiplication. So I'm going to go back over here to my information. So what that really means is I have 2/10 group of the whole number 3, and I have 2/10 times 3 to get my answer. So if I do some quick estimation, and I could just count 2, 4, 6, I could say that this is 2/10, 4/10, 6/10. So my estimate's going to be right at 6/10, or half. Now what I need to do is I need to set this up so that I can relate it to something that I already know. And so writing this out, I'm going to write 2/10 part of, and part of means multiply, the whole number 3. I can relate that to fractions, 2/10 part of the whole number 3. And I can also relate this back to whole number multiplication, which is 2 times 3. And here's why that's important. Because I know that 2 times 3 is 6. So there's my relationship back to whole number. Except we're not talking about 2 whole pieces. We're talking about 2/10 part of 3. And anytime we have a whole number, like the number 3, we can say that that is over the number 1, because 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3 wholes. And when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across. So we say numerator times numerator, so 2 times 3 is 6. And we can say 10 times 1 is 10. So my fraction equivalent is 6/10. So now when I go back and I think about multiplying with decimals, I can say 2/10 part of 3 is 6/10, because we have 2/10 times 3.